Okay.
All right, folks.
We are live, folks.
Pledge, please.
We are
Oh,
live.
yeah, look, nice job.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just a moment of silence just to reflect on the swirl of uncertainty around us and the good work that we do here in the town of Bath. Thank you, everyone. All right. I should take attendance of everyone here today. Peter Brown, Kate Lehman, Lisa Schauer are all present.
Plus our police, our entire police force is
And
here.
the entire, well, this is the most safest spot in town. For sure. Madam Recorder, our roll call.
Greg Sheen,
Present.
Susan Webster's here, Elizabeth Skinner. Here. Mary Lynn Hickey.
Here.
Reba Dawson.
Here.
Brian Kessel.
Here.
And Rick Weber.
Here. All right, if everyone can just take a look at the minutes if you have not done so. Oh, there's a different Sheen in here, that's good.
Yes, indeed. First lady.
The first lady.
You look fine to me.
Thank you, everyone. Rick, you're usually you're my outlier. Tom consent. Yep.
This time.
Here. All right, we have no one before council today. For those that can make it, the 36th Annual Winter Wellness Festival at the Mac Ice House, please attend. That's a great little event. Hopefully weather permitting, that will go off without a hitch. I just want to comment again on the Fox Club Garden Club and their 50th anniversary this year. I think someone is so inclined for a motion for the town to make a proclamation to celebrate the 50th and to present a plaque to them at the annual meeting in May.
So Mary,
Thank you.
Second.
I might add to this that their first project in 1976 was the Depot Herb Garden. So their first project was on town property there at the
Well,
Depot.
thank
So-
you. And the ladies do wonderful work. So I have a motion on the floor to issue a proclamation to the Fox Love Garden Club in addition to a plaque, dedicating a plaque at a location to be determined by the club and what they feel is most appropriate, the courthouse or the green or one of those places. With a second?
We have a second.
Second, thank you, Mary. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so much. And the ladies, Mary, our new president, Mary Elko, will be glad to hear that. All right, moving on to On Track. Mary, do you want to bring everyone up to date on On Track?
Sure. At our last meeting, we scheduled several celebratory events in 2026. I think straight through May, we have things going on, including hit it, Greg. I'm not gonna get this.
The Founding Flavors Food Truck Festival.
There you go. That's happening in May. We will be kicking off with a reception at Crust, which I believe is next Friday night, but I'm going to check with Bree and we'll confirm and we'll get that up on the website and Facebook page as well. But all these events are planned and the town of Bath has reserved Berkeley Springs State Park for the entire day on the 4th of July to plan more celebratory events, which we don't have all the specifics yet, but we are very much working on them. So
Super, it's On Track. In addition to the good work they're doing, they're also essentially the marketing arm for the town of Bath. Just kind of what we've received 7 really good applications for a social media director, really qualified folks. So we'll have to start weeding through those next week. But everybody wants to work for the town of Bath, so that's really exciting. The quality of the folks is just outstanding. thank you for everyone that applied. Parks and Rec, we don't have anyone here at the moment. I don't know if anyone has anything to add about Parks and Rec. The Planning Commission, Colonel Landon is not here. Their next meeting is on the 11th at 5 p.m. Rail Trail,
Okay, got a request from Joel to move the meeting, the task force meeting, which is next Wednesday, the 28th. Usually at 4, he'd like to drive for 1 or 2. You can check your calendars, there's an email floating around asking
Okay.
about that, does anybody else?
what day of the week is that?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. That's Wednesday.
Is this for the whole committee?
Yeah, that's for the task force. It's to meet, it's the annual, the monthly meeting that we every now and then try to actually hold.
Okay.
And it's probably useful right now.
What time works best for you?
I don't care. 1, 2, 4.
Okay,
It's you folks that matter.
okay.
I just shuffle the paper. And leadership. No, I actually look at you and Susan and Joel and Bill as the key as to what fits when.
All
Fit it in. Okay, I did send to, and Greg, you and Susan got a copy of this as long as the thing I sent to the highway department today for their entertainment. Don't try to look at this from a distance. But it's an attempted schedule for everything that's supposed to happen with the rail trail and the new trailhead. And so some of the top lines were the county and the county are working on, so that schedule is more realistic. The stuff below it, I'm trying to get DOH, who used to hold a telephone conference periodically, to do it again. It really mattered to the county. Joel and Bill are trying to pull that out, so my attempt to do that. And we're working with that, second round of evaluations for the design contractor for the trailhead. Misty sent out the questions and the information that they didn't have before, which was the fact they're gonna work in a brownfield. And they're gonna design it in a brownfield. That was never in the original solicitation.
That's a conspicuous omission.
Yeah, well, Region 9 did the first one, that's okay. The second round matters because the questions went to the top bidders. You don't care if you weren't gonna quit, if you weren't gonna interview the next step, you don't care. This time they had the real information. So. And you're on the evaluation committee. Didn't you do?
Yes, no, they didn't put me on
I can't remember who it was. We did
It's a
This
small committee.
It
it.
is, we did a really,
Misty,
yeah.
you, Greg, and Joel.
Yeah,
If
well,
I
the town,
recall.
the town had a subcommittee. We produced the only
Yes.
writing.
We had the subcommittee,
I
yes.
thought you were on it.
I was on
Yes.
that,
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
it.
but then what the,
Bill's not on the file? Bill's not on the committee?
Yeah. It turns out there's a committee of the commission and a committee of the town. We did our evaluations. I never saw theirs. What were sent out as questions looked remarkably like 100% of what we asked.
I know, I thought they were good questions.
Well, Susan's
Okay.
question, so that was
What
good.
can I
It worked
say?
out great.
Okay, so
Oh, goodness.
I think Missy's trying to set up the interviews probably early in February.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
get moving.
They just said, thank them as somebody else thought up the questions. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
they
that's-
look pretty good. Let's go with them.
yeah, and they accepted putting in the stuff about the brownfield.
Mhm.
Which I-
Which they should.
Well, Region 9 did it and they weren't so embedded in it, and it was for a first round. Pick
Okay.
your top 3 and
Okay.
then go for the reality of the top 2 or 4, I think they wanted.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's it for Rail Trail.
All right.
And-
Streetscape,
Not much going on in Streetscape. We're gonna have our meeting on
we will be.
Thursday morning at 10. And we'll discuss a number of things, including what to do about your Independence Street stuff. I haven't contacted Region 9 yet, but I can. Let's just wait for the meeting.
Yeah, that's the Independence
Oh,
project that we probably should loop them in now. What do you think,
yeah.
Pete?
It's a good idea to do it. I haven't been doing it because
Right.
I'm not looking for grants. to do it.
We're talking with them pretty regularly, and if you want us to lift that up as a new funding
Yeah.
opportunity with them, we can do that.
Yeah, I think it's worthwhile as
Yeah.
a try.
Should,
So Independence Street.
Yeah, I can help with that. planning to go visit them at some point on this if you want, and I'll just tie in with you first.
Yes.
Okay.
So are we, but we're still waiting for Thrasher to complete the 30%?
No, we didn't, that costs money. It costs about $7,600 to get a real 30% drawing with estimates and with real planners, with surveyors to check the street out.
Mhm.
Never turn them on for that. So I'm
Okay.
waiting to see if that's what you wanted to do.
Independence Street is new sidewalks and paving. on
Yeah,
my
but
list.
it's a real rearrangement of it that eliminates the 90-degree parking.
Okay.
over there.
Okay.
There's already been 2 or 3 accidents since crust opened.
Yes.
The cars backing out of crust and hitting the cars in front of Inspire.
Yeah.
3 that I know
Oh,
of.
Drinking beer.
Yes, boom. They're not even looking, they're just boom,
Yeah,
right?
but it's
Yes.
probably one of the more challenging street changes that we have.
Yes.
And I
Okay.
will say, we haven't even gotten word on Congress Street. We can't get the design turned on. And we don't know what they're gonna do with the grant application we did, which we won't hear about for months. And then it would be Independence, and it's years away. Is there another way? That would be nice to try to find out.
Yeah,
And I think Region 9 is a good way to go
yeah,
through it.
is there another way? I mean,
Right.
We can,
At the state level, we can keep pitching our fabulous idea that saves them money and saves us time.
we have a projected amount, but
Yeah, we've done an estimate. Thrasher's, I did the estimate, but I made it out of Thrasher's algorithms,
mhm,
and they checked it. So we can talk, we have some reality to talk to Region 9 about.
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
that's
that's
good.
And I'd be happy to go over there.
Right.
That's
I think we should, yeah.
Yeah. Let's just keep it all under, instead of having too many tangents, let's keep it
Yeah,
in the,
that's what I mean.
big
I just,
discussion.
I'll do the work.
Yeah, it's,
The question is, it's best if the town is the front people.
Pete, could you email me the vendor that you got the lampposts from? And I asked because we are gonna be putting up,
The lamp.
A lamppost.
the big historic lampposts.
You know, we're gonna put them,
Well, yeah. Oh, you're talking, yeah. We used an outfit from Western. I forget what they were in Western Virginia, but they also repaired the one that got busted.
we-
If that's the one
Nice.
you want, I'll give it to you.
Right, and the reason is because we're gonna be adding to them, stems to hang historic flags for
Yeah.
historic town of Bath. And, they look like coat hangers, but they're, flower, pots that sit on either side of the lamppost.
No, I know what you're talking about. That's
Yeah.
Western died. I don't know that Sharon had a lot of luck having them do more work. That's-
No, I would just like to ask them where I could get stuff like this. I'm now
Good.
trying
I
to
will.
source it to cost it out.
Okay, good. I'll get you a contact for that.
I appreciate that, thank you.
No problem.
now, Pete, going back to Thrasher and that 30%, do we need to have that in order to move forward and in order to present to Region 9?
No.
No, we do not, okay.
No,
We just need to have.
I think I produced enough to give an idea of what it's about.
Okay.
Mhm.
And the fact that we're going outside of the Transportation
Yes,
Alternative
we are.
Grant Program to find something else to do
To
it,
do it.
that the town has to coordinate with the district, we
Mhm.
can't avoid district funds.
Yes.
Jeff Gola says, that's not a big deal to do that, they do that all the time. They actually would be the designer, because we have a contract with them to do it.
Yeah.
And then all we'd have to do is advertise the work. Thrasher can do the inspection, which we can't do. So we have the engineering as we need it. We don't have the money. The
Yeah,
town can issue the contract
understood.
and probably get it cheaper than the state.
Right.
Yeah, well, Greg's already figured that
Yeah,
out,
yeah,
that we could,
And Thrasher
just
knows
let
how
us.
to price things that way.
I think
Yeah.
we need to show that kind of initiative because we can't wait years for
No,
Independence
it-
Street.
some of this stuff.
We
Yeah.
can't. It's too dangerous.
Would you kindly share whatever written narrative and other detail you have about the scope of the project for Independence
Yeah.
that we can share with our partners at Region 9?
Yeah.
Because we're talking to them all the time
Yeah,
now.
and
about
I
water
would, if you
stuff.
want to go over there, I would like to be involved.
Oh,
Let's-
sure.
Yeah, let's
I'll back
schedule,
you
let's
You
schedule
bet.
a meeting and get in front of them. Thank
You
you,
bet.
Pete.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
we'll keep you
we
posted.
got a lot of work, we just don't have an official drawing by an engineer to stamp it with their
Yeah,
name.
but that's an easy box to check
Oh, yeah.
to get it done.
They already have it.
Okay, all right,
All
thank you.
Good work,
I
thank you,
didn't,
Pete.
I didn't mean to lengthen your meeting.
No, this
Way
is
to
a-
go, Pete.
Let me tell you what, the people on Independence Street, they are enjoying that conversation.
Indeed.
I mean, it's, Carl and Denise are fully invested in the town of Bath right now between the crust and the brewery coming to town.
Mhm.
And that's just, again, we need to tackle that street the sooner the better.
Yeah, they don't want their customers getting hurt or.
They're walking
They
around
don't
there.
want that.
Yeah, it's, that sidewalk, all of it is just, it's time.
Mhm.
So thank you, Pete. Susan, updates on the train depot?
The Depot, I've talked with Dusty about a couple things that, of course, it's really cold out and gonna
Oh,
be
yeah.
cold for a while. And the back door, there's some air coming in and they need to figure out some way to put some insulation in that door because you can see light, It's an old door and I don't know that it's hung exactly right, but there's some distance. And so trying to figure that out, I ran into Craig Dean, took him to the post office, saw him walking, and we talked Depot. And he has some ideas. So I told him that I would get in touch with Jim Bailey, who's our historian on that building, and talk to him about it. But he has some good ideas. But really, that's about all that's going on right now with the Depot.
Yeah.
They're just kind of
Yeah.
get through the winter time.
We want to keep our tenant happy.
Yes.
Yes,
It's a
indeed.
long-term tenant, so thank you for that.
Is the
Later.
multi-split unit in yet?
It's not in yet. It's so
That's why it's so
that's
cold in there.
that's an issue,
Right.
in the baggage room that didn't get done. It was it just got to be a time crunch for them.
And they had to build the fake walls first.
Yeah. the fake
So
walls
that's
went
all
up.
done
So
and
it's
now they
still-
can do it.
There's
Yeah.
still stuff. So
Yeah, I mean, it's the ideal place for a visitor center. It
Yes.
will, and most certainly will be when the work's done on the depot lot.
And we
Public
can start
restrooms
using
and
it.
all the, yeah.
cool things.
It's within your lifetime, Susan.
Within my lifetime. Put it on my grave.
We promise you.
Yeah,
We promise. Landmark Commission, don't have anyone here, but I know they are working very hard, really proud of the
Yes, they
work.
are.
They've come together to reform that committee and to really focus on doing some good work. We have nothing from our clerks or
No,
We do
Madam
not.
Recorder.
no,
Pay some
they're
bills.
at the auditors meeting this evening, so.
Yes.
and like that, so we had no building improvements, which is not unusual this time of year, or property use requests, so we'll get right to the bills. And what we have here, let's see, for the town of Bath, I make the motion that we pay the $24,124.90.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor with a second to pay the town of Bath bills in the amount of $24,124.90. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
I make a motion that we pay the Berkeley Springs Waterworks bills in the amount of $65,831.29.
Second,
I have a motion on the floor with a second to pay the Berkeley Springs water bills in the amount of $65,831.29. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Make a motion that we pay the Greenway Cemetery bills in the amount of $10.
Outrageous.
Wow.
Yes, Mr. Craig Dean, actually,
Oh,
for something he picked up at the hardware store.
second,
Thank you, Beth. I have a motion on the floor with a second to pay the Greenway Cemetery bills in the amount of $10. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
I make a motion that we pay the tree board bills in the amount of $3,600.
Second.
Motion on the floor with a second to pay the tree board bills in the amount of $3,600. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And I make a motion that we pay the hotel motel distribution of $27,589.74.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor with a second to pay the hotel motel distribution in the amount of $27,589.74. Any discussion? Those dollars are for our portion of the, that is allocated to TBS for marketing for any of the town. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, thank you, Susan. Tree board, Kate, what do you have for us?
Mary, I think, has my report that I.
Here, would you like it back?
Yeah, I had to leave in about 3 minutes.
All right, make
No
it
worries,
quick,
we're
Kate.
gonna get you to do both things tonight.
I can do it without.
Yeah,
You can wing it?
Well, yeah, I think so.
Very good.
Is it this email?
Very good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Since the last council meeting, the West Virginia Division of Forestry has approved the Tree City USA application. It's referred to as TCUSA. In the past, once the state has approved it, it's just a rubber stamp from the Arbor Day Foundation. The trees in the old the old German cemetery have been trimmed. That was part of the community tree grant. Since Truex tree experts gave us the bid, the brick pathway through the cemetery was installed.
Mhm.
And so that created, it was a different scope of work that had been when we got the bid, the original estimate, because they couldn't have any heavy machinery going over the brick pathway. And so most of it was done with people in trees. And they added a cost of $800 for that, which it was a $600 addition. Anyway, they added an addition because of the change in the scope of the work. And the tree board approved that, and the work has been done. And the person at Foxglove, who does the most work on that cemetery, is very happy with how things look. And with the completion of that task, all of the major jobs in the community tree grant have been completed. If Sharon hasn't submitted the bills for reimbursement, she will in the very near future. So I have no idea how long it takes to get the money back. Sometimes it can be 6 weeks, 8 weeks, but we hope it will be sooner. The tree board meets tomorrow, and we will be receiving the comprehensive plan from Bartlett Tree Experts. They did a survey of the trees in the Old English Cemetery, excuse me, the Old German Cemetery, Old Greenway, and the 5 acre lot at the south end of the bottom of the new cemetery. These are likely to be among the oldest trees in town, and we want to save them wherever we can by reasonable methods. And so this will let us know how old those trees are and what we might want to do to save them. And we're interested in this mainly because old trees are much more effective at stormwater management than young trees. They have a bigger canopy, bigger trunks, bigger roots. And so preserving these trees over the years will really do a lot, particularly since they're all located south of town. It will do a lot to help to reduce the frequency and severity of flooding in town. And that's it.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you,
actually
Kate.
have the copy
Okay.
I couldn't find in time. Thank you.
Thank you, Kate. Good work as always.
Thank you.
Okay. Councilwoman Dawson, grants.
There's a million grants for, the historical landmark committee that I looked into. And I hear from Priscilla that Ryan LeGrant will be looking into all the grants for the HLC. And then whatever you've got going on there that we didn't talk about last week.
Here, sure thing. So since our last town council meeting, Mayor Sheen and myself met with Region 9, and we talked about all the funding needs for the water utility restoration and refurbishing. I do have some good news on that front. We had previously announced that we have a 50% match up to 500,000 from the West Virginia Water Development Authority. And the other 50% will come from an IJDC loan at 2%. And because the phase one repairs that we need at the water plant are so urgent and timely, this is the quickest way for us to put the funding package together to pay for it. And at some point, we were going to kick in at least that much anyhow. So there it is. The other really wonderful news is that we are still in the running for congressional directed spending of $1 million.
All right.
We are in the queue for Army Corps of Engineer grant for the water utility for the $1 million we asked for. That decision is outstanding. And concurrent to that is what Region 9 will help us put together beyond the initial phase of urgently needed repairs to help us create the runway for phase 2 and 3 and however many it's going to take to get to the approximately $8 million finish line. So we've got all that going on. And then as far as the downtown refresh, grants have been submitted to the West Virginia Truist Foundation for that. Grants in process with the AARP Community Challenge. I applied for that last year, didn't get it, but we're in the lane, so we'll see what happens this year. And there was one other one that the T-Mobile Hometown Grant. That deadline is March 31, so I've got a little time for that one. And those three are all dedicated funds, if we get one or more of them, for the downtown refresh, which includes flower pots on every historic lamppost that we have. We have 17 of them.
Mhm.
And it includes historic Town of Bath banners on each of those lampposts. And then the bigger cost is the more permanent seating that we're planning for in the downtown business corridor to create occasional seating spaces just to enjoy the town. We have a lot of fair weather tourists, and this is a really nice upgrade of the downtown landscape. So
Beautiful. Thank
that's
you.
what we're working on.
I do want to spend one moment to discuss grants or the lack thereof with our partners or colleagues over at the Mac Ice House and what a struggle it's been for them this year to get any grant funding. And it's really becoming quite a financial challenge in speaking with them. And the one event, the Saturday concert series, it's a tremendous economic driver for the town. I mean, there's days when there's, I was talking to Rick a little bit about the Weber brothers are coming to town this year to kick off the season. And, right now, that'll be 700 or 800 people in the park. After the concert, they're spending their money, they're shopping, they're going to dinner, they're doing all those things. And of course, we reap the benefit of the 1% municipal sales tax. But we really need to give consideration to supporting the shortfall that they have right now. And speaking with Jill that manages it and has managed that aspect. Again, if this would be specifically for the Saturday concert series
In the park.
Making the town of Bath, it's appropriate for us to consider contributing. It's at the 250th. We'll be giving all the marketing and advertising exposure, which is nice, but it's the goodwill we generate by being a good partner and providing some of the resources so they can get this done. Right now, the considerations are, they could eliminate a show or do different things. I don't know all those details, but I would like to assist them if we can do so. We do have a surplus in our hotel motel that we could easily access to pay a portion of that shortfall.
See, they used to have 8 of those. There were every week for July and August. I think
Right.
last year they were down to 6 because of some funding stuff.
It's all.
Right.
And this year, unless they get help, it will even be that.
Yeah. Their funding was cut by over 50%.
Yeah.
Just over 50%. No one doesn't not notice that kind of a whack in their operating budget. So
Right.
I fully endorse the idea of supporting them, and when we have a more concrete motion to bring before council and vote on,
I think the
Bring
needs, yeah, the need's about $3,000.
oh,
Well, why don't they put together a little package and bring it to the next finance, we'll put it on the
Yep.
agenda.
I'll
Yeah.
talk to Jordan about that.
Yeah.
I'll try to see her, but thank you. But yeah,
Sure.
I just think it makes sense.
People love it.
you know, and we can't lose the resource that is the Ice House. That's just really key in this community, and they do great work and beautiful exhibits, beautifully curated exhibits that they have.
Again, and those Saturday concerts, I mean, that is where you
Yeah.
truly see that's when the community as a whole comes together, both the locals that are coming into town and enjoying it, as well as our tourists, side by side in the park, and it's just an absolutely wonderful experience. So, yeah, we should do that. Thank you for that. Chief, Public Safety?
So we're kicking back in with, parking after the holidays. We actually did fairly well over the holidays for parking, even though they weren't required to pay. We still brought in a pretty good revenue on it. Coleman Stangl was doing an outstanding job. I had to put a boat anchor on him, slam down a little bit. He's doing an outstanding job.
Yes, he is.
We got a lot of things in the works, some things I can't talk about, some things I can, but we're doing our due diligence and keeping things going.
The town's just very safe and, yeah, it's a great job by Officer Stangl, and, you know, he's hiding in every nook and cranny in this
Same
town.
he is.
And then
Same
then the
all
Morgan
over.
County Sheriff's Department finds every nook and cranny that he has, and they're
Yeah,
parked in there.
we've been picking up a lot more calls from them, but since I have help, they feel like we're doing our due diligence to keep up with our share of stuff.
Mhm.
And those are any calls we're picking up from them are just in the town of Bath?
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
we're doing nothing outside the town.
Okay.
Okay,
And stuff that's not, in progress, they're still handling all the in progress stuff, so it's working.
Good.
It's just, it takes a little adjustment for us. I'm not real happy with some of the reporting systems we're getting, but, I'll get with the sheriff to work theirs out so we can get something a little bit more, uniform.
Okay.
For anyone that's listening, we are still searching for another parking enforcement officer. We're always looking for another police officer, a quality person to add to our organization. So if you know of anyone that might be interested, please have them contact the Town of Bath Police Department. Thank you, Chief.
Yes.
Cemetery, Beth?
The Cemetery Corporation met this morning for a couple hours, and we've got a lot on our agenda, stuff we're doing in the cemetery, mostly historic related, and we are going to make a genuinely concerted effort to recruit a full board with clearly defined responsibilities for each position, and we are also making a concerted effort to recruit volunteers for some of the projects we hope to carry out this year, because we know there are people with lots of skills and lots of interests, and we have lots of different needs, and we think there are people out there that want to step forward and help us. So that's all I have for tonight.
Good, thank you, Beth. It's good work going on over there. Public Works, Rick?
Okay, we completed our evaluation conference with the employees. Sam and I did those last Tuesday, so that's done for this year. We're going to spend a little bit under $1,000. We're going to purchase some basic welding equipment so we can do some of our own repairs. And that will be a money saver for the town. And the new person that we hired back in October has some very definite welding skills, so we'll be fine there. We talked last time about the Citizen Service Awards. We identified 2 women. We're going to do those the next meeting.
Oh, good.
First one in
Nice.
February. And
Excellent.
Sharon will call those 2 women and come in, and they don't have a clue they're getting them at this point.
Good.
The garbage truck financing should be complete within the next week or so. So I'm guessing within 2.5 weeks, we should have the new truck.
Beautiful.
Snow removal, there's nothing to talk about at this point yet.
maybe this
No,
weekend.
it's just, no, not having it. Sam's getting used to it. He gets up and does this like 2 or 3 hours salting, and there's not enough to really plow. So we've been very fortunate.
Right.
Greg and I went up and toured, looked at the Myers Road facility, and two things we're gonna do. We're gonna get a computer for those guys up there that they can get emails and stuff, which none of them have at this point. They do with their phones. And kind of dovetailing that, we purchased walkie-talkies for our guys so they didn't have to use their phones to communicate back and forth. And it's working fine for them, except with the old garbage trucks that we have, they're so loud that they can't use the walkie-talkies on those. So hopefully the new truck will rectify that as well.
Or like a kitten.
As far as the light replacements, I talked with Mr. Boyer from Potomac Edison. His hope at this point, even though I haven't seen anything in writing as far as proposal or anything, he wants to have our first 54 lights installed by the end of the first quarter. So that would be the end of March. So let's say beginning to the middle of April. That should be done at almost no cost to the town because we didn't replace stuff. We
So
didn't
great.
put up new stuff or anything like that.
Saving all that.
But speaking about that, this whole light replacement thing, I report on it. It's not mine. It's Rebecca McLeod and Pete that did all the work. And so when it gets done, I mean, the credit is theirs,
Well, yeah,
not
we did
not
it.
mine
We
or
did it.
anybody
We
else.
did it for you guys.
But we got to ride around Hancock at night. And that's all I got.
Perfect, thank you, thank you. Ryan, ordinance?
Ordinance, we're going to do the second reading of the Town of Bath Ordinance 2026-1, which is the vacant structure registry. This has been posted on the website under proposed ordinance. And the first reading was at the January 6, 2026 Town Council meeting, and there's been no changes, so it's essentially a repeat of that.
Hey, Brian, let me see, I'm looking here. If you notice, item 15 in the last minutes, I guess you can call this a change, but what it is, I clarified, if you look at what I have for ordinance committee, I called it 26-01-01. That clears, it's the first ordinance of the first month of that year. So, it doesn't change anything that you're gonna do now, but I broke it down a little bit more. Otherwise, it could be May, and we're doing 01 because it's the first one, but this breaks it down. If people are looking for it in the future, they've got kind of a month in, early January, we started this. Is that okay?
That's perfectly fine. So we'll title it Town of Bath Ordinance 2026-01-01.
Yes.
Okay. And then I wanted to read the for subsection purpose in full, which addresses the sort of preamble. The town has found that an uninspected and unmonitored vacant building may present a fire hazard, may provide temporary occupancy by transients, including drug users and traffickers, may provide a nuisance from pests and vermin, may detract from private and or public efforts to rehabilitate or maintain surrounding buildings, and that the health, safety, and welfare of the public is served by the regulation of such vacant buildings. And again, for the definition of vacant building, we're looking at buildings that no person actually resides in the building, either owning or renting. No business operates in the building. Utilities are not operational. And it's unsafe as inspected by the town engineer or fire marshal or police chief. So again, this does not apply to occupied buildings. And in being on the registry, there's an escalating fee structure. In year 1, it is $500. Year 2, $1,000. And it continues to $1,500, $2,000, $3,000, and in year 6, $4,000. And adding $300 each additional year thereafter if the structure is still on the registry. There's due process in the application of the ordinance. If after notification, you can appeal being on the registry to town council. and then further appeal to the Morgan County Circuit Court. We potentially also have the fee waived on request if you can show proof of that it's going to be occupied, or there's some type of demolition, rehabilitation, or repair of the building, or you're attempting to sell or rent the property. And finally, of note, if the fee is not paid, then the town will put a lien on the property so that in the future, if there's a sale, then the proceeds would be used to pay those fees that should have been paid in the past. So that constitutes the second reading of this ordinance.
Motion to approve ordinance number 2026-01-01.
Second.
You can second. I'll second.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
I have a motion on the floor to approve the second reading of the Town of Bath Ordinance 2026-0101 vacant structure registry. Any discussion?
It seems now that we are able to actually implement it, administer it, and like this. Before, I know I did ask questions and like this, but when you put in a law like this, you have to be able to work it. You have to be able to enforce it, implement it, administer it, because if you read, there's a lot to do. It's not, I don't want it to be a piece of paper or a bunch of papers that gets put in a book and is never used. It needs to be worked. So
Very good point. This has been identified as one of the priority, number one priority for many residents in the community that do feel unsafe when they are near some of these structures. You know,
And business owners.
and business owners as well. And you know, you always have, you know, fire and other possible emergencies, but there will be, you know, a letter going out that kind of explains that we have to create a form, and vacant property registry form that does spell out the details of why that property may have to be added to the registry at any given time. So we will create those documents, and we will begin, you know, implementing and enforcing this probably within the next 30 days, just to give us enough lead up time to do so.
Mhm.
With that said, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Ryan. Good work. Anything else?
Nope, other than the next meeting is February 19th through 30.
Okay.
Let's back up for a minute. On Public Works, she had on here that begins at 3:00. It's 2:30. Cemeteries at 1:30. Public Works is 2:30, and
It's my
Ryan's
favorite day.
3:30. Yeah.
It's like a Susan day.
it gets his days.
I really look forward to that day.
You're
welcome. All right, thank you. Waterworks, Mary, what do you have for us?
Speaking of meeting corrections, our next meeting is tomorrow, which is the 21st, not the 22nd. And our meeting starts at 4:00. So for Waterworks, as I mentioned earlier during grants, Mayor Sheen and myself have been in pretty close touch with Region 9, working out the details of the Phase 1 financing that will take care of the repairs identified as most urgent and necessary. This will be funded entirely by 50% grant up to $500,000 in cost, and then the matching 50% of what we spend, which we expect in Phase 1 is about $700,000. That will be paid for by a 2% loan from IJDC, which keeps us on a very timely track to start the work, because these things need to be taken care of as soon as possible. We'll have plenty of runway to figure out where the other $6 million is coming from, but this is really important. And I did mention that we're back in contention for the $1 million from the Army Corps of Engineers program for water utilities. So that is really our primary focus. That, and we also, did some catch-up work with some of our reports and got them all current
Good work.
and stamped because we need them for these grant applications. So that's all happening. And I think that's the main
Good work.
stuff going on with
Yeah.
water.
I just want to commend our water committee for the work they're doing. It's, there's some really very, very time-sensitive, important work that needs to be done. So thank you for all the effort that's going into that. And I do want to add that in addition to, that we're also doing hydraulic testing of the water system, which is important to the fact that the hydraulic tests, it's one thing being able to pump the water, it's another thing being able to move the water through your existing water system. And the hydraulic testing will tell us how much above our current capacity we have as far as pushing water through the system. So if you're going to build a water plant, that you want to make sure that you can get the water to where it needs to go, and and when it's traveling great distances, which it's going to do, that information is incredibly important. So,
Right.
but we're getting that done now preemptively, so we
Right.
have the information to share with those
With our partners,
with our partners in the county.
who we have already been very open and transparent in communicating our concerns about what appears to be a finite water supply, not in terms of what's coming in, but in terms of our capacity to process at that plant. The working number right now is 500,000 gallons, and that is a finite number. And there is new development happening all around us, and we're very mindful that our resource will stretch as far as it can before it can't. And this testing is really
That is
important
critical.
too, in confirming that 500,000 is a good number, or maybe it's 6, but we won't know that till we
Right,
do
we
the
can stop
testing.
speculating and guessing.
Exactly, and then everyone's on the same page with what
Real
is
data.
possible.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's important. It's that time of the meeting where anyone would like to. Pete, do you have any questions?
Come on, Pete, that's just one.
Don't you dare.
What does the Morgan Messenger want to know?
No.
Don't have any questions.
As always, we do have some positions to fill. Please check the Town of Bath website.
Mhm.
There are several open positions.
Three open positions.
Sure,
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, because I'm leaving
I
anyway.
know, You're running hard today, Susan. Thank
She's
you.
got her soul worked up. She's ready.
Susan, you're looking
I'm out
better.
of here.
You're looking better than you can.
That's right. Good
That
work.
red solo cuts is a tell.
Oh, yeah, that's just our latest baby.
I gotta go over
Sounds
there.
magical, man. I can still drive.
Yeah,
All right.
that's all I get from, I spend $1 million on toys. I put them up.
Yeah.
You get a shirt.
Shirt.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Five and 12.
Share.
Ours was 5 and 12.
Here.
I have a question about the independent